Leadership TV for God and country.
Welcome to another edition of Health and Wellness. It's a program reaching you from Leadership Television. Today is March 21st. It is World Global, Down Syndrome Day. It's a day set aside by the United Nations to show awareness on Down syndrome. My name is Winifred Lebo, hosting you on today's program. And of course, as you can see, with me in the studio are Duma Edward, Dibiana, exactly. And I have a son. Do I have a name? So today we are going to be having discussions on Down syndrome. It's actually a condition special needs children, and Mrs. Duma is going to be telling me she's an advocate for children with special needs, and she's also a caregiver as well. And she will be telling us how she's been able to just oppose all this together on this special edition of the program. Welcome once again. Thank you. So let's start with how were you diagnosed that you have a special needs child?
Okay, when I came back to the hospital, the doctor
When I was here in Nigeria.
yes, here in Nigeria, the doctor said I had Down syndrome.
And so how has life been since? We just want to look at how it has been. And this is also going to give hope to those viewers out there who also have children with special needs. So tell us, so how has the journey been taking care of a special need child? How old is he now? Eh?
For two,
Oh, that is good. And it's tough for him. So tell us, how has it been?
the journey has not been easy, but we thank God. He was diagnosed with Down syndrome, but we didn't have enough information regarding the condition. So when they told me I had Down syndrome, we didn't know what to do. But I had to go to this person's life, his wife and travels to. So I had to go to research to find out what it is and how it affects or impacts people living with it. So with the information at hand, I had to use the information because we have the information and now know what next to do. What are the things that you're supposed to do for your child, what he needs for him to cooperate.
Now, when you were pregnant with him, was there any special experiences or was just normal, like you just normal? We were going for checkups and
Yes,
what
we
have
went
you.
for antenatal. Everything was normal.
And nothing prepared you for.
Nothing prepared me for the diagnosis.
So how do you cope with the discrimination and stigmatization of children with special needs?
Well, for me, I would say I've not really experienced this that much, or I would even say I've not, because once you accept your child, you accept that is the first thing. Once you accept that, oh yes, this child has Down syndrome, and this is a lifelong
Condition.
condition.
Yes, yes.
The discrimination, the segregation, all of them, it will not affect you.
Okay,
But
but
when
have you been experiencing stigmatization and discrimination from other Nigerians?
Yes, a lot of them have been opportune to work or interview mothers who have children with special needs, and the stigmatization and discrimination they experience is way beyond what they can imagine. In schools, in churches, most of them are rejected.
In schools?
Yes, in schools. most children, but I've not experienced that. But I've interviewed mother who said children were not accepted into the schools because they told them that no, they don't have the resources, they don't have the manpower, to take care of such children.
What about the son himself? Does he also experience stigmatization?
I don't think so. Even if he does experience it, he might not even realize it. I'll be the one to, say that, oh, it has been put such a this. But really, I've not really experienced that stigmatization.
Okay, what about in terms of education and training? Like you just said that some parents that same people, they also complained about it. In schools, how they are accepted? What is the acceptance like?
Some schools
At least
accept
with
them.
your interaction with mothers too, that also
Yeah.
that caregivers to
Some
children with special needs.
some schools accept them wholeheartedly when they don't even have the resources to take care of them. Those schools they understand and they want to do their best to give them what they need. And some schools don't accept them. But in the schools that accept them, we just work towards because children with special needs, you need a specialized education for them.
Yes.
You need same teachers for such children. So we even need one-on-one
Yes.
for such children. So some parents are made to pay for same teachers that will come in to take care of their children in the school. And they teach them, you know, gradually, bit by bit. They don't go at the same pace
Pace with
with
the other.
children in the classroom. So you teach them at their own pace so that they will understand more. Because once you rush it, you will not understand.
Now, I want to take you back, to your home. So, how does it affect you like that? Is it extra for you taking care of him at home?
Before,
How were you able to cater for him as a young mother? It's your first.
yes, it's my fault. As I told you before, once you accept, that is acceptance. Once you accept, once you are not living in denial, everything flows. But when you have not accepted it, that is when you start having problems. It has not been easy, yes, even with the acceptance. But then you have to progress.
Then how were you able to fit into the space? Like you thought, you told me you had to do research in order to take care of him. So how were you able to just fill in the space? Oh, he needs this, he needs that, and all whatnot.
I have to with the research. I've gone
And
through
what was his development like? Because you could see that truly he has developed very, very well. Very looking at him.
initially at the when he was giving birth to, the doctor said he will not walk, he will not talk, he will not be able to do anything. And when I look at him, I believe what the doctor said because physically it doesn't look like he was going to thrive. But I had to, comfort myself, you know, in the research I did. I many ways, to help them. I realized that people with Down syndrome, their development will be slow.
Slower than yes.
So when I got to know that their development will be slow and it will affect them intellectually, I have to raise up, and work towards helping him. Now I've known that yes, he will be slow. So people around, maybe children of his age, I don't compare him myself because I know his condition. I know what he's capable of doing and what he cannot do. And I know that though the development might be slow, but he will still meet up in milestones. And he has.
Okay. Now, from your experiences with people that other caregivers too and other advocates for children with special needs, what would you say is the rate of people living with Down syndrome like in Nigeria?
The rate as in the number.
Yes.
Well, I was
Even starting with FCT first.
that is the problem we have. I cannot say exactly the number of people living with Down syndrome, and that is why we are asking government in every hospital, once a child is born with Down syndrome, take the data, document it, so that we will have
An idea.
an idea of maybe the number of people that have lived with Down syndrome in the FCT and the whole of Nigeria. Once you document it, you now know what to do.
But you all belong to, as caregivers, you also belong to association.
Yes.
So at least you can find out what is the number like.
I wouldn't say, unless I'll talk within the groups I belong to,
Yes.
they are much, But I say I can't really place a number to it. But I know here in FCT we are not.
Okay. Okay, before I want us to be talking about your NGO, Ugo Edward Dibiana NGO, right? Down Syndrome Foundation. So I want to shed light on that. What are you doing? What is the concept of that NGO? And what's been the challenge so far? And what have you achieved so far?
Okay, we started the NGO last year, to be precise.
Okay, just last year.
Yes, although it has been on, but we really started it last year. And I will say that what even prompted us to even get open that NGO for him is because of maybe my experience when I gave birth to him. Because there was lack of information regarding Down syndrome. I didn't have enough information. And even when I gave birth to him, I had the necessary information regarding Down syndrome. It would have helped
Yeah,
me more. So I wouldn't want other mothers, to go through the same thing I went through. So the foundation is basically for advocacy, sensitization, and empowering the mothers of such children, enlightening them on what the condition is about, what it comes with, and what you should expect, and ways, to help your child thrive. And then interface with government, let them come in the first places, that they can come in to help such mothers and their children, because the financial burden is much on some parents, and some of the parents, you know their husbands run away, they are left with just their mothers and the children to cater for the child, and taking care of a special needs child is not easy. Some might come down with so many congenital conditions which you cannot even really afford to take care of, and some don't even understand. They don't even know. Like a woman I normally talk with, she doesn't even know what her child has. So how can she,
Take
help
care of
that?
them.
So that is where we are coming in to tell them and let them about what it's about, what you expect, and even
Thank you so much. No, when he was that you were diagnosed that with Down syndrome, did the doctor tell you what could have predisposed it?
I didn't see. I didn't see. They said
Oh, you just gave birth to Down syndrome, and
yes,
that is that.
yes. And they didn't even give us any information, just that you have a child with Down syndrome. Well, I would not even blame them, because when he was born and diagnosed with Down syndrome, he had other health challenges which were more important than that Down syndrome. He had multiple holes in the heart and other things. So we were even concerned, focused on seeing him being alive.
Now, what would you say now is the awareness like currently?
Well, for now, I would say that people are really getting to know what it is, but we still need to
Do more.
do more regarding that, because most people, I believe, don't even understand what it is, because you cannot accept what you don't understand. If you know what Down syndrome is, how it affects people that live with it, you'll be more comfortable,
Yes.
to accept them and include them and do things with them.
Okay. So, but were you told, some as when you gave birth to him, were you told how Down syndrome can be also be managed by doctors
They didn't tell me all those information.
or
I got
treated?
to know. I got all the information I needed regarding Down syndrome by myself. I had to start going for training after the research, for training for workshop. That's where I got to know everything about Down syndrome. Down syndrome is not a disease, so it cannot be
It's rare
treated.
disease.
It cannot be treated. It can only be
Be
managed.
managed.
It can
Right.
only be managed. Yes, because people with Down syndrome, their developmental level is very slow. So you have to have that at the back of your mind. They are very slow. It affects their speech. So they will always need a speech therapist. That is why early intervention is very, very important. So you get a speech therapist for the child that will be working with him to improve the child's speech.
Okay. So we are going on a break. When we come back, you are going to tell us more on how you've been able to nurture and manage Ugo. because it's 14 years now. I know a lot has gone into his development. So viewers, don't go away. When we come back, we'll be sharing more on how to take care of a child with special needs. We'll be back.
Be part of our brand. Leadership for God and country.
Leadership TV for God and country.
You're welcome back. In case you're just joining us, the program is Health and Wellness on Leadership Television. With me in the studio has been our guest, and of course, today is a Down Syndrome Day. It's a day set aside by United Nations to share more, through more awareness on that condition. And of course, with me in the studio is Ugo. He's also a child with special needs, and his mother, Duben, Edward. How come I'm twisting my tongue pronouncing your name?
Duma Edward.
So it's a pleasure. So before we went on break, we were sharing on how you nurtured him. As you can see, Ugo is looking so healthy and of course quite developed for somebody of his age. He's just 14 years old. So we want to share with us how you were able to on your own, because you told us you did a lot of research in order to take care of him, because aside from just doctor diagnosing him, there was no more information. And of course, you said everything you knew you had to research on your own. So what was it like? What were the challenges? What about your parents? Because we've had situations whereby parents will actually even give up on their children who give birth to children with special needs. So how was it like for you?
Well, I would say that my parents, my family, both from my husband's side and my side, they are my immediate support system. I got all the support I needed, and that is very important. If you're a mother of a child with special needs or parent to a child with special needs, when you get support, that family support
yes.
is needed. So when you have it, everything flows because the support they come in from every angle to assist you. So when we got to know that we had Down syndrome and he will be slow in developing, so we had to, and coupled with the his heart condition and other health challenges, so we had to face the health challenges first, make sure that he is okay. So when we went for the surgery, when he came back, he was very stable because before he was looking like he was not even really going to make it. So when he was stable, we had to intervene early. Early intervention means putting him in school, we enrolled him in school on time. He was in school. We enrolled him in school
Where is
in
he
2
now?
years.
Where is he in the picture?
He was behind.
He's the one behind.
Yes. So we enrolled him
I'm looking at for him.
when he was 2.5 years. So he can mingle with other children. Know that at this age, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. So as he's looking at the children, what they are doing, they're acting as a role model for him. So he follows him. And that really helped him. Yes, that really helped him in his social life. Some children with Down syndrome, when they don't go to school, they don't enroll them in school on time. So timid. So that exposure really helped people.
Okay, now thank you so much. Now we're talking about, you have your NGO. You are advocating for persons with special needs. Have you ever thought of also advocating for prevention needs? Because in my interaction with doctors when I was still on the field as a journalist, I think most doctors will say that some of these children with special needs, all these defector, birth defect, could be avoided when you take some maybe some folic acid and all those stuff. So did you ever Are you also looking at that? Maybe advocating for prevention of these
Well,
conditions
for Down syndrome,
or health conditions?
for Down syndrome, there is no preventive measure.
It just happened.
It happens.
Okay,
It
they
can
call
happen
it
to anyone.
chromosome 21.
21,
like the,
yes.
the 21.
Okay, let me expatiate on that.
Mm.
Every human being is born with 46 chromosomes. You get 23 from your mother, 23 from your father, that's 46. But people with Down syndrome have 47. So where that extra chromosome
Comes from nobody.
nobody knows. So I don't know the
Something that just
preventive
happens.
measure that can. It happens. It can just happen to anyone. If it's something that can be prevented, people will do anything to prevent it. Some people will do anything to prevent it, but it's not something you can say, oh, let me put a stop to it, or let me just take precaution so that it will not happen. No.
Now, as you came into the studio, I'm not saying you wearing socks because they said socks also represents the
Yes.
chromosome that most times is worn to celebrate the day. So, what are you doing especially on today in the World Syndrome Global
Okay, since the 20th,
Down Syndrome Day?
since the first day of March, we've been advocating. Since first March to today, every day we go online. Then we physically we go to churches, we come to churches. Then on last week Sunday on the 19th, we went for a hospital last week at the say General Hospital because when I gave birth to him, I stayed like a year and 6 months at Lagos State University Teaching Hospital last week. No, it's not even last week. Last week. So I have it.
Okay,
Knowledge
because of
what
the
it
other
is. Yes,
condition.
condition. So I have the knowledge of how mothers of those children feel. Mothers on admission, their children are not, doing well at the time. I know how they feel. So one of our people is to reach out to such parents in the hospital to let them know that
It's not a death
this
sentence.
is not a death sentence and it's not a crime for a child to be in the hospital. And when we went out for that outreach on Sunday, luckily for us, we met a woman who was shattered because the child has Down syndrome. So she has heard so many things from neighbors, misconceptions regarding the condition. So we had to clear her doubt. And luckily for us, we had other mothers of children with special needs that have Down syndrome that came with their children. So we all came together, met her, told her that nothing is wrong. You just have to do the right things. Intervene. That early intervention. Once you can get it, accept your child for that is the most important thing. Once you accept that, oh, this is my child. There is nothing wrong with him. He's just an extra chromosome. It can be anyone. Hey, then you can.
Now, for people that have children with special needs, it's much manageable and palatable when you have money. So, what about those that don't have resources?
That is our issue. That is why we're calling on the government. Many parents of children with special needs don't even have a child.
Of course, seeing Ugo, the way he is, you know that he's well taken care of at the baby care.
Like,
So, but now I'm asking, what happens to parents who do not have the needs?
that's what I'm saying. We don't have the means. You will not keep begging for life. That is why we're asking the government to give us a scheme, a support scheme for these mothers, for these parents. Even with stipend to pay them monthly to support whatever they have, it will go a long way in helping their
What
children.
about facilities? The government have good facilities in place.
They don't. That is why we're still saying these children need speech therapy, they need occupational therapy, and these things don't come easy. Government, why not give us a facility for auditor therapy? Give us a specialized school in all these government primary schools. Parents, other parents of children without special needs, walk in, enroll their children. Let's make it easier for other parents to walk into parents of children with special needs, walk in, enroll their parents, and get the quality education these children need. Employ same teachers that will take care of these children and every other thing they need, and make it free for them, to lessen the costs for them.
Now, one last talk before we go. At least to parents that have their children with special needs, what would you say to them? How will you encourage them?
I'll tell them that it is not a death sentence. One, know that these children come from God, and you did not in any way commit any crime because that's what people make you feel. like you committed a crime, that is, and you're paying.
Yes,
And you're paying.
for it.
Yes, you're paying for it. Let them not have that at the back of their mind. These are children. The future may look bleak, everything may look daunting, but stay focused. Research. Get the adequate information you need, because when you have the same knowledge is power. When you have that knowledge of what this condition is all about, you'll be able, to fit it and do what you're trying.
Okay. One more. What are you saying? What are you advocating? Maybe a few years from now for your NGO.
A few years from now, I'll see my NGO having a school that will be free, totally free for children with special needs and other, or even children that don't have special needs, and a vocational center, because these children, most of them, not everybody is academically inclined. Most of them have skills, they are talented. So open that skill acquisition center. Yes, skill acquisition center where their talent can be harnessed, sharpen it, and they can be self-reliant through those.
Well, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure having you on today's program. How are you doing? Thank you for your presence today. Thank you. So, well, viewers, this is where we end today's program, Health and Wellness on Leadership Television. Same time, same station. Next week is another day. I'm going to see you.
Be part of our brand. Leadership for God and country.
Leadership TV for God and country.